Hi, this is Franz Cantor, toon talker, cartoonist and illustrator, and I'm here with...
Jim Bridges, and I'm the president of the Australian Cartoon Museum.
Okay, so Jim, tell me, this is this is another Book Bites we're doing, which is a book review, and the subject of the book review is Joe Bluhm's, I believe it's self-published Rejects, the Extreme Art of Retail Caricature. So tell me a little bit about this book.
Well, I think it's terrific. These are all rejected things that people didn't pay for. They refused to buy them because they were offended.
So this was done at venues, like a theme park or something?
Amusement parks, places like that, where you'd think that people would be in the mood for ha, you know?
Yeah, this is a fantastic cover. This is his style, Joe's style, and you can see all of the angry faces reflected in his sonnies.
Yeah, that's right.
It's very cool. And here's a caricature of Joe Bluhm.
Yeah.
So there's another one.
No, that's
that's Tom Richmond.
Tom Richmond who
he
does
did the forward.
Yeah, he does the movie Things in Mad Magazine.
Right.
He's the new Mort Rucker.
Yep. Cool. So this caricature is a representation of a person that is exaggerated for comic effect, while maintaining a recognizable likeness.
Yeah.
This is the start of the book, and you could see from the expressions, they're very, very mixed reactions. Some of them are not very happy about sitting at all. Some of the sort of like, hey, get it over and done with.
Yeah.
So
and of course,
this is very...
And of course, they're the bits that he blows up.
Yeah. So this is a very, when you're drawing caricatures from life, which I don't like doing, it's a very confronting thing for an artist
because
and
people
for the models.
Watching you and the over your shoulder thing and the pressure? Or what?
Well, artists don't like to be judged. Certainly not, instantly. And people don't like to judge. So it's a very sort of...
people don't like to judge?
No.
What planet have you been on?
Well, not face-to-face.
No, well, that's true. It's much easier to judge someone behind a two-way mirror, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
they're obviously in amusement park.
So with caricature, you get to explore proportions and change proportions and try to keep personality and expressions and character traits like little, sharp canine teeth or whatever, freckles and, upturned noses.
Not everybody looks like Roseanne.
No, but the problem with working so rapidly is that he's subject to
instant decisions.
Instant decisions. He doesn't edit on retrospect. He doesn't edit later or change it.
Yeah.
He has to work.
It's just flat out.
Quickly, flat out.
I've watched a lot of them, and they hardly look at the people. They hardly look at the people. They sort of just grab a dum, and they might look up a couple of times, and that's about it. Some people confuse cute with ugly. I thought it was cute.
Yeah. Okay, so...
I thought he might take a swing at me upon seeing this piece, but instead they both laughed out loud. Look, honey, it just like you.
Yeah. So there's that razor edge, the fine line of working between, the likeness and being offensive, even sort of racially offensive. People might take it the wrong way, that you're exaggerating features that are, may be attributed to race, or some might attribute it to race.
I'm glad this book was published, because there must be stacks and stacks and stacks of caricaturists who are really proud of a piece that was never accepted, and they've probably got them in a drawer somewhere.
Yep.
And this bloke's got the nous to actually publish that, and just to show a great.
Well, we're looking at this
extreme.
Yeah, we're looking at this through the lens of time, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these subjects would look at this differently
it's
now.
It's published in 2005, by the way.
Well, a lot of the subjects would be looking at these pictures now with a refreshed view, probably, and seeing the beauty in them. Because there is a beauty in ugliness.
The first rule of retail caricature: thou shalt not successfully sell a drawing of a female with a prominent underbite.
Yeah, in other words, what he's saying is, if you've got a prominent underbite, no one will buy it, because they don't want to be reminded of things that they're trying to hide. So John Shakespeare once told me that
John Shakespeare he's a caricaturist,
Sydney Morning Herald cartoonist.
Yes,
and he does caricatures. And he told me that a successful caricature is something that the subject would not like. So that's the general rule of a caricature, because you're making fun of someone's features, and if they don't have a sense of humor, they won't get it. They'll have an expression like that. So these are fantastic exaggerations, obviously, but you can see that they're in tune with the personality of the person. So there's nothing in there that isn't...
They're not just turned into buffoons. They're sort of... You can see their personality as well,
Yeah, they're lovely.
Yeah, they are lovely.
They're lovely. Because, there's a diversity in humans, and when you do caricatures of type... you do caricatures of people, everyone's different. So some people have, a lot of gums. Some people have very, very thin, lower facial features and very wide upper features. These are decisions of the moment that you make when you're looking for a handle on somebody.
And it's also
to describe
the vast majority of caricature is done from photos. So people get as many photos as they possibly can, and they even look at videos to do it, But this is on the spot. This is, come on, now. Can't think of anything else, you just get into it,
Yeah.
And plus you've got all the people looking at you.
Yeah.
Which is actually part of the magic of caricature. Watching a caricature, especially a fast caricature, come alive, on the paper, it's really, it's magic, God, what a nose.
It's hard to do two people at once.
Yes.
You've got sort of to balance the big with the little,
yes.
and the different heights, and to create a composition that is pleasing.
And group pictures.
There's a lot going on with these,
because they end up looking like sports photos. You know what I mean? Of everybody standing still and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, this is a typical request. The baby was drawn from a photo. Just draw him how he is, the mother said. She loved the drawing, obviously, but she thought his eyes were subtly crossed, and he had a giant alien baby cranium. The idea of caricature is to make the head bigger than the body. So it's a sort of a typical trope.
A baby's head is out of proportion to its body, and they just push it.
Yeah.
Look at that. Interesting.
Yeah, so Joe's looking for shapes to pull, sort of like silly putty. So he's creating anchors, like lines, the shape of the nose, the shape of the lips. It's not the fact that the lips are big; it's the fact that the lips have a distinctive shape and a little upturn, smile. Subtle arches of the brow, some stray hairs. There's a lot going in here that is
he would have done these under 10 minutes, surely, because there are people waiting.
Oh, it's difficult to say. Between 10 and 30 minutes.
No, I don't think people queue up for that long.
I don't think there'd be a very big queue.
Look at the line in there.
Yeah.
And his body is just legs, and there's no body there at all.
Yeah. Well, the focus is on the face.
Look at the eye.
Yeah. The floating brows. So there's a lot of love there. There's a lot of humor, in everybody he does. See, it's not just the face, the fact that the features are distorted. The features are distorted, but there's distinctive features of the lip.
This woman has dignity.
The shape of the nose,
doing this,
even though it's exaggerated, the size of the ear compared to the rest of the face. These are decisions that you make from viewing the face, and you don't do it with any malice in mind. You do it with a sense of humor. So you're looking for lines that have lines that you can have fun with as an illustrator, as a caricaturist. You look for lines that you can play with.
There's a lot of verve.
And if the
verve
people,
in this
if the
picture.
subject
A lot of verve.
has a sense of play,
Yeah.
then it's almost like the face is getting sucked into the area behind above the nose. If the
That
person
still
has
works.
a sense
I mean,
of fun,
anybody who's got eyes that close together, it looks really weird, but he's still.
yeah, but he's got a perfect
That's
expression.
right. That's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah.
So the only comment that this guy had was that you made me look like a girl. Well, he shouldn't have had such long hair, but the likeness is undeniably there. So these are beautiful. Every face is distinctive. You can see they're playing with different things. It's not just a simple case of making the ears bigger.
He hasn't got a look like some caricaturists have. You know, they all
No.
sort of slot in.
No, he lovingly looks for things to play with
Yeah.
in the face.
Yeah.
So when the person has, that's a really beautiful.
I've never seen that in a caricature. Have you?
No,
She's still got her beauty.
yeah. Well, I mean, he's obviously, he's
enjoyed
having
that. He's enjoyed that face.
He's enjoyed that face.
Yeah.
Especially
Oh
this
God.
one.
This little girl was cute. Nobody wants to make a mother cry, but she was apparently the only one in the crowd who did not like it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like mothers at baby shows.
Yeah.
Their baby's the most beautiful baby in the world, and of course they're going to get their nose out of joint because only one of them can win.
Yeah. So
And
again,
that's why
this
they
is
give so many prizes. Otherwise, they'd have riots. You know?
yeah. So this is a perfect example of the thin edge of caricature, the sharp edge,
Yeah.
because you look for features to play with and to exaggerate. Obviously, if someone's fat, you make them fatter. If someone has big ears, you make the ears very, very big. And this can be offensive and worrying to people. This subject, he loved the caricature, but she didn't. So again, the idea of a good caricature means that the subject won't like it unless they have a sense of humor. If they can see the fun in it, this is incredible. So there's no general rule. He'll exaggerate things that he feels. When you look at the subject, when he looks at the reference, either the subject sitting there or from a photograph, he'll make judgments as to what's prominent, what he can play with. If he can make the eyes, more prominent, or the teeth more prominent, he will. And so it's like, especially anything at all. There's no right way or wrong way of doing a caricature.
Well, that's a cropped.
You just respond to
That's cropped.
something that's very visceral, very physical, almost an emotional response to the subject.
Yes. Yes.
So, you can't get any more emotional than this. This is pushing it to an extreme. But, they love this. This is not a rejected piece. So, beautiful expression. So you start with the likeness, which is usually a combination of, distinctive shapes and expressions. And then from then on, you look for lines that give you an indication of how far to push it.
A week or so before the sketch, I drew the kids of these two wonderful Brits, and they came back for more. These are the best moments, and when they asked for something sillier than the previous one, I asked them to adopt me.
Yeah. So, you obviously look. You can only look at this and say that he has a lot of affinity for the subject. He really loves the people. So so there's no right or wrong way of exaggeration. You just exaggerate how you feel, how you respond at the time. Yeah, you can see the variety of people, the variety of couples and
Techniques,
shapes.
the way is just on the
Yeah.
hair and
Yep,
the strokes.
really, really beautiful. Really beautiful.
He's good on kids, isn't he?
Yeah, he loves kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So sometimes you get you get. Is there a way? Is there a point where you're having just too much fun?
Well, maybe that does definitely belong in a book on rejects. Maybe some things aren't meant to be shown to the general public, especially if it's you. This is good. Wheels coming off the car.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful sensitivity of features and likeness.
He loves what he's doing, doesn't he?
Yeah. Snafu. Yeah, fantastic. So these are expressions that lead. It's the leading edge of the caricature here. These are expressions that are leading the way. It's a beautiful, beautiful way of capturing the likenesses and having fun. So the expressions are telling him what to exaggerate. You know, I mean, it's just unbelievable.
He looks like Lloyd Bridges in old age, doesn't he?
Yeah. But everything there is distinctive. You know, it's not just exaggeration of shapes or a cartoon ear just plonked on.
Yeah.
It's the ear belonging to this person. It's the nose belonging to this person. Yeah. Very, very cool.
How do you draw out of focus?
You can't draw out of focus.
It's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Look at that kid.
Yeah.
Slightly sunburned, he says.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of humanity in this.
That's what I was thinking.
It's a capturing.
Yes.
Capturing of the moment, capturing of something that you might see. A caricaturist will obviously see, a good caricaturist like Joe will obviously see a lot deeper than the normal photographer, the normal person. So,
look at her hands and her feet and her attitude.
Yeah. So he'll pick up on subtle idiosyncrasies in the face.
Plus, he doesn't want to
And then he'll expand on it.
repeat himself. He's obviously
When
looking forward to new things all the time in a person's face that he wants to explore.
Freshness.
That's
Explore.
right. He wants to explore.
So it's exploring with a pen. Yeah.
And he
have
wants
fun.
to push himself too. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Kids do have expressions like that, don't
They do. They don't wear t-shirts like that.
they? Oh well, he's always got the tongue
Only in
sticking
his
out.
world.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Wow. This is, as a caricaturist, he's very, very brave and cutting edge, I think, in terms of, distorting the features in line with the expression. So they're all distorted, but they're distorted in line with the expression.
And that's the process. There's the different faces, and that's what he ends up.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah.
So he actually pencils, because a lot of guys don't pencil, they just go straight to the process.
I think he pencils and then puts a piece of paper over the top of the pencil, perhaps, because he doesn't rub out the pencil. So I think the pencil's underneath, and he'll do a clean paper on top, which I do.
Now these are
sometimes.
co-workers, so he's drawing caricatures.
Other caricaturists.
And of course, they're all pushing each other on.
Yeah.
Have a go, you mug.
Yeah.
You know? And he had a go. Look at that, just one line.
Yeah. And they get sillier and sillier, of course.
Yeah, and they're all telling each other to push it, push it.
Yeah.
And he pushed it. The eyebrows coming out of the eyes.
That's classic.
And the hat.
That's classic.
And the
Boingo,
colour.
boingo.
The colour.
Yeah. The colour of the nose, yeah.
Draw me like Darby.
Yeah. Henry's whispering. Or just pausing. ... So there's no every character is different. Everybody's different. There's no template. It's not cookie cutting.
He's actually really going for this because he's not worrying about what they think of it at all.
No, these ones are very, very free.
Yeah.
The idea of this is the more outrageous, the better.
Yeah.
And you can see the results. They're very cool. These are very, very, very fun to play with.
These are obviously this. They look like they're the same girl.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Very interesting. Yeah. It's awesome. His sketch of him at work.
His colour's good too, isn't it?
They're very strong colours for the medium. I mean, it looks like, I don't know what it is, pastel?
It looks like a
If the sheet's about A2, then these would probably be pastel.
looks like a special type of Conte.
Yeah. Very cool.
And that's Basil Wolverton.
Yeah. Very, very
That's very
interesting.
Basil Wolverton, obviously. So he's born in 1980, Joseph Alexander Bluhm, and he's bloody good.
And he's won many caricature awards, the National Caricature Network's highest international recognition of Caricaturist of the Year in 2003. So this book came out when? 2003.
And 5.
2005.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So try and pick this one up. Look at these. Stephen Silver, Tom Richmond have said great things about him. Very, very cool artist. If you can see this around.
Yeah,
pick it
a
up.
lot of love in his work.
A lot of love.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is it.
This is Jim Bridges and
Franz Cantor.
saying goodbye, friends.
Yep.